What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my main page. Welcome to Will X Magic. So today we're going to be reacting to the top 10 best new action anime of 2024 so far. So I've kind of been lacking in my anime. I've been lacking. There's some animes that I still haven't like finished yet. That I haven't watched in like, I don't know, maybe like a year. So haven't been keeping up with my anime games for over years. So I'm trying to get back into it, and I'm gonna start getting back into it. You know, seeing what new animes that they came out with. I mean, the only anime I've been keeping up with so far has been Black Clover, and you know what? I've loved it, the animation and the manga. So that's been keeping me pretty. That's the only anime I've been watching so far or keeping up with. But we're gonna check out the best new action animes of 2024. So I hope you like, share, comment, and enjoy this reaction video. And let's get into it.
Has generally been good to us action anime fans. We're still halfway through, and for those of you who've been keeping track, we already had a plethora of exciting shows to enjoy. That's even if we discount sequels of popular franchises that have carried the torch from the previous decade's hard hitters. I know it may be hard to know where to start, so that's what today's list looks to do. I'll be sharing what I think are the 10 best action anime for you to watch. Let's begin the list.
Let's go.
Mission Yozakura Family is what I'll be starting.
This one is called Mission Yozakura Family, and this is what's the name of this? It's just saying it's an action comedy. It's action comedy. Okay, let's see.
This list with. Given the whole setup of a family of secret agents.
Is that a bucket, or is it like that's his face? That looks like a bucket, or yeah, that looks like a bucket. That looks like his head. He has a bucket for a head. Okay. That's wild.
Given the whole setup of a family of secret agents living double lives in school, it's very easy to fall into the trap of comparing this anime to the ever-popular Spy Family. On the other hand, Mission Yozakura Family takes that marginally...
So it's kind of like Spy. It's kind of like Spy Family. I mean, I only watched one episode of Spy Family. I'm gonna watch that series, Spy X Family. But apparently it's kind of like Spy X Family because it deals with like spies, or at least that's what it's telling me. So, let's see.
Similar setup in a different direction, opting to go for more chaos and action as opposed to the more heartfelt slice of life-ish moments. I mean, that's not a bad thing either, and it sets up a nice, nifty identity for the Yozakura family, with it being done in the vein of a more typical shonen action series. It's an action comedy that I feel like has gone under the radar a bit for how entertaining it can become at times. Unhinged, chaotic, and such are apt descriptions of what it looks to do.
So it's a mixture of action and shonen with a little bit of comedy in it. Okay, all right then. I'm gonna have to check this one out, see if it's any good. I mean, I'm basing this on his opinion, not mine. So I gotta see for myself.
But underneath the funny and hype moments are still some dramatic segments to help the audience settle in and relate with the characters. If you're a 20-something-year-old and remember Hitman Reborn, that's more of what you're going to have to expect with this anime.
I've seen that anime.
Whi-
This is a skip button.
Witch and the Beast.
Alright. Back here. Skip button was hiding under my camera.
Beast is up next at number 9.
So number 9, The Witch and the Beast, and this is an action fantasy. Alright, let's see.
If you prefer something that has more of an edge, however, Witch and the Beast may be to your liking. A mystery action series aimed at a slightly older demographic, complete with a darker atmosphere and a good amount of magical fighting. The Witch and the Beast is an anime that thrives on its character dynamics, starting with our main...
I love things that have like deal with magic. I'm more of the shonen supernatural magic type anime guy. That's just me. I mean, I do love action, but I'm more of that type of anime watcher. I tend to more of those, genres of anime. So this may be up to my liking.
Duo, and soon extending to the other characters who turn out to be more complex than what you'd expect from an action-heavy series. All of that serves to complement the genuinely gripping story with arcs that don't overstay their welcome. The Witch and the Beast isn't something meant for mainstream attention. It's eerie, full of intrigue, and didn't have any of the hype moments that would push a lot of shows into becoming overnight blockbusters. But if you're up for a more mature approach in a compelling world, it's definitely worth a shot. At 8, here's Unwanted Undead Adventurer.
So number 8, The Unwanted Undead Adventurer. And this is an action/adventure. That's what I think it's saying. Action/adventure type of anime. Okay, let's see how this one is.
After giving the key visual and the premise a glance, one might immediately peg Unwanted Undead Adventurer as another one of those prove them wrong anime. You know, the power fantasy that starts off with the protagonist Ford.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. It's like when you look at the animation, it's like it's not like it's gonna pop out like it's good anime. So it's you're gonna have to like let the. It looks like one of those animes where you're gonna have to let the episodes like. It's more the more you watch it, the more it's like, okay, it's proven itself to be a good anime. Yeah, I agree with him. This is like was one of those more have to prove yourself animes to watch. So okay.
Falling and coming back as something beyond broken, set to go on an adventure to bring the world to its knees. Unwanted Undead Adventurer flips things around, however, by deciding to go on a more reflective approach. Yes, there's still the edgy looking protagonist looking to become strong as a plot point, but the anime is a tad slower and more monologue heavy. It seeks to build the world at what people have called a deliberate pace, and it dwells more on the implications of becoming a skeleton, giving the audience chances to digest how it really feels. It's definitely something more akin to a slice of life, and the more chill approach to doing things might throw.
That plot doesn't seem that exciting. So it's gonna have to. It's gonna have to prove itself why it's worth your time to watch it. Does that make sense?
People off a little bit. When the action parts come up though, they're still good however, so this could be a good change of pace for people very into fantasy action anime. At number 7, it's The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic.
Okay, so number 7, The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic. And this is an action fantasy. Okay.
It's the beginning of 2024. Things are looking up with some big hitters coming our way. A lot of shows have hype either by being sequels or getting carried by word of mouth, with some shows seemingly coming out of nowhere by embracing their key points, like the degeneracy for
4 different hacks that you could implement today to get more followers on Instagram without posting more. In fact, this creator right here just used these tips to
gushing over magical girls. Then there's this. I'm not gonna lie, I don't blame you for overlooking the shit. Some shows seemingly coming out of nowhere by embracing their key points, like the degeneracy for gushing over magical girls. Then there's this. I'm not gonna lie, I don't blame you for overlooking the wrong way to use healing magic by brushing it off as yet another isekai when the season.
The name alone sounds not that interesting. It's like, wait, like with the wrong way to use healing magic? That doesn't sound enticing or interesting at all.
And rolled around. But when the dust has settled, I'd say that this anime has been a worthwhile watch, showing that there are strengths in a premise that's generic. For one, I've got to give some props to how the show doesn't aim to hook you in with a shock factor or anything like that. It's also not a parody and
so it's more of a, so the way he's talking about this anime, it's more like a, it'll get you out of nowhere type of anime. It's like, it'll get you interested like, just out of nowhere. It'll have those episodes or like that streak of episodes where it's like, oh, this is good. This is actually good. So it's like, like, cause to me, this is one of those episodes where I just like look at it. It's like, yeah, it's not that good. Scroll down, next anime, till you find like right anime. But then like when you watch it, it's like, wow, this is actually good. Why I should watch this like earlier. Like, jeez. But you know, okay, I'm gonna see if I can give this a shot. See if it's any good, like he says.
Plays the isekai part straight. Instead, it does draw you in with a more deliberate pacing, getting you acquainted with the world and the characters, and making you think of the possible ways things can go. The slow pacing ended up being a detriment at times, especially on the character development side, but I can see the point the anime team's trying to get at here. It's a good alternate approach to the isekai wave we've come to see recently that either leans heavily into parodic elements or goes really deep with the action, shock factor, and power fantasy. It's comfortably somewhere in between, and is for fans of people who prefer a slower paced isekai. An archdemon's dilemma finds itself right before the halfway mark.
So this one is called Madome, and this is an action fantasy romance. Okay, let's see if this one's any good.
And we're back to the bait and switch anime. Right off the bat, an archdemon's dilemma injects an idea into the viewer, an assumption of what it could be like. Demon Lord, with a bid to be the strongest, taking on a slave girl as his most trusted partner in this us against the world story. And true, there are elements of...
Yeah, I've seen this anime before. And, you know, I've seen this anime before. Demon Lord takes on a slave apprentice, and yeah, I've seen this. I've seen this before. So.
Of that at play, but while Undead Adventurer gave us a detour by instead becoming a more reflective take on the whole transformed into a skeleton subgenre, Archdemon's Dilemma does that by making unaware audiences watch possibly one of the sweetest romances you can get out of the shows with this kind of backdrop. What? Not to say there's no action or flexing or the sort, there is loads of it in fact. What truly sets this series apart from its kin is its surprising focus on a budding relationship between our main duo, both of whom are awkward and charming in their own right. People have compared it to something like Gomi-san, and to have that kind of comparison in an isekai series with magic and slavery is hilarious in its own right, but it kinda makes sense when you think about it. This is one underrated treat for romance lovers out there. Now, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, but not before asking you for a like if you've enjoyed what you've seen so far. Make sure you've turned on the notification bell to be updated by all my latest videos too. Thank you. Off the break now, we're not letting up with our next entry, Ninja Kamui.
So, Ninja Kamui. It is an action fantasy science type of anime, okay? Alright, let's see.
Whose side are you on?
We know our enemy!
Ninja Kamui is a simple story. It knows it's excellent at one thing and one thing only: insane fights, and as such, it leans really deep into it. After all, for some fans, they don't just care about realism, a deep plot, or any of that. They want stimulation, lots of it. And Ninja Kamui is here to give them loads and loads of adrenaline. To say that the fights and action sequences in Ninja Kamui are wild would be an understatement. With us crossing the halfway mark of 2024, I just don't think that a lot of action anime can match how unhinged and wild Ninja Kamui can get with its action pieces. It starts off really strong, and if you're someone who comes in with the right expectations, it does seem like something tailored to Western audiences with the way it looks and feels, so that might be a boon to you too. If you're someone who craves some frantic, gory action,
Yes, I am.
and wants something that goes so deep into it, Ninja Kamui may be to your liking.
I mean, this anime looks good. The animation looks good. This is definitely anime I would definitely check out and see if it's, see how it is. It looks like an anime that could surprise me, but it is what it is. So.
This I'm a legend, let's go, here we go, do this!
To move on, we have Go Go Loser Ranger. To move on, we have Go Go.
So, Go Go Loser Ranger. It's an action sci-fi kind of anime. All right, let's see.
Loser Ranger.
やってられねえよ、こんな茶番。
It's kind of like, so this is kind of like a Power Ranger-esque type anime. Yeah, because you got your whole team. You got the red, yellow, green, blue. So this is kind of like if Power Rangers was an anime. Just by looking at this, this picture right here, it looks like what if the Power Rangers were turned into an anime? Okay, let's see.
決まったな。CM だ。
Loser Ranger's not exactly a serious anime, but considering how grounded it feels compared to Ninja Kamui, it certainly fits the bill. As for Loser Ranger, we have what seemed to be an affectionate Super Sentai parody that turns pretty heavy quickly thanks to how it gives us a different perspective from what we've come to expect from these costume hero shows. Affiliations and supposed hero-villain roles get turned on their head, and it serves as a foundation for a rather gripping tale of rising up against all odds. A tale of adversity, grey morality systems, and before we forget, some pretty nifty fight sequences. Oh, and it's also from the quintessential quintuplets creator. So for those fans of the popular rom-com who are still on the fence, you might be curious to see what Negi can do with a series featuring another ensemble of 5, but in a different genre. Personally, I think he nailed all the important notes, but it's something you've got to see for yourself. This anime deserves more love.
I'll watch it. Definitely. Check it. Definitely.
必殺ヤマタノオロチ。決まったぜ。
We begin the top 3 now with Windbreak.
I'll be right back. Alright, back at it. Let's go. So this one is called Windbreaker, and this is an action anime. Alright, let's see.
Breaker. For a lot of people, Windbreaker came out of nowhere. Sure, there was a bit of hype entering the season, but to a lot of them, it certainly was just another teenage delinquent action anime. However, as we reach the home stretch, it's made a quick turnaround as a lot of people's favourite action anime of spring. It's a straightforward story of delinquents fighting people, protecting their town and all of that sort of stuff, but what really won people's hearts was the execution. It has great hand-to-hand fights, some of the best the year has given us.
Just based off these 3 fights, I don't know if these are the same people or not. But the hand-to-hand fighting style, it's on point. That's 100. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna put this on my list of animes to watch. Oh, I definitely am.
So far, all while maintaining some positive themes with help from its charismatic characters. It's certainly a show I'm happy to see a lot of love for. And if you're looking for an action anime to watch this 2024 and don't have time to bother with sequels or more fantasy stuff, this is one of the best recommendations you can get.
If you've been getting scam texts like these, it was me. I said that probably means your data's been leaked, and I have all of it. Who leaked it? I did it. I leaked it. Luckily, I started using Guardio. Wait, what? With one single subscription to Guardio, I can protect my entire family. Do your free browser scan right now, which is really helpful because you'll know which accounts were affected and which passwords you need to change. Click below to run a free scan and find out where your data was leaked.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna check them out.
Kaiju number 8 stands proud in...
So, Kaiju number 8. This is an action sci-fi anime. Alright.
in second place. The hype was really there for Kaiju number 8. Even before the season, there's been a lot of buzz surrounding this promising new contender in the action anime sphere. It would have been easy to brush off the series as something taking advantage of the groundwork made by Chainsaw Man or even Attack on Titan, given their similar premises in theory. However, Kaiju number 8 does well enough to hold up on its own, becoming one of the hottest and best action titles to watch in 2024. In practice, Kaiju number 8 leans more to the light-hearted vibes despite the bleak picture its world seems to suggest for the first minute or so. There's quite a mix of comedy and action, and overall, the blending of elements works really well, giving us a show where almost everyone can find at least something to like. While Kaiju number 8 may not particularly excel at something, it's more than decent on a lot of the relevant parts that action anime fans may care for. Entertaining fights? Check. A group of main characters for you to care about? You got it. A story that's not super complex, yet has its fair share of depth and world building put into it? Kaiju number 8's got you covered. It's obviously being pushed hard as a series, and I think those efforts weren't misplaced by any means. Speaking of pushed hard as a series, you have to be living under a rock to at least not hear of Solo Leveling.
So, the number one anime, action anime, Solo Leveling. This is an action adventure fantasy type. At least that's what I think it said right there.
One of the biggest webtoons ever.
Off rip. That animation is crazy right now. Let's see this.
One of the biggest webtoons ever finally got its much-awaited anime adaptation, and expectedly, as we enter the year 2024, Solo Leveling has garnered so much attention. But did it live up to the hype? I'd say it did, with a caveat. It's an anime that works really well for those who are already fans of the series. The anime creators likely made this adaptation with the existing fans in mind and made a promise to deliver what the fans wanted. A weak to strong power fantasy with some RPG elements and a lot of moments where the main protagonist can show off how cool he is. Sharp, crisp choreography gives the fight some excellent presentation, and the sound direction doesn't let up one bit. With the title being hamstrung by its 12-episode count, there's a lingering feeling of wanting more as I watch the series. There's more potential with the world, and the plot's presentation may not be as strong as some would like it to be. Still, it also knows it's a power fantasy and relishes in that identity. Plus, in the realm of just spectacle, Solo Leveling hits all the important highs, making it a really recommended watch for those in the genre who are existing fans of the source material.
よろしく頼む。
Solo Leveling may have the hype, but is it your favourite action anime in 2024 so far? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. That more or less does it for this list. I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the list. If you have some more time, may I suggest you check out this video on the top 10 anticipated new anime of summer 2024. Thank you, I'll see you in the next one very soon.
that was some good. That was the top 10 best new action animes of 2024. I ain't gonna lie. 9 out of 10. This was some good animes. Maybe like 8 out of 10. These are some good animes. Some of these animation in these animes are pure fire. Yeah, man. I just got to get back on my anime game, because I've been off it for about like a year. So I'm gonna get right back into it. Starting 2024, I'm gonna get right back into it. So yeah. Well, that's the end of this reaction video. I hope you like, share, comment, and enjoy this reaction video. And I'll see you next time. Peace.